Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a totally game-changing money management system. We're talking about a framework designed to do something pretty incredible. Transform everyday earners into the absolute first millionaires in their families. We're going to unpack exactly how to shift away from that exhausting, inherited cycle of just trying to survive month to month and instead move into deliberately building generational wealth. We're going to look at the exact mechanics of how money should flow the literal second you earn it.
Picture this for a second. Think about a salaried employee who gets a super predictable paycheck, but still finds themselves sweating, counting down the days until the end of the month. Or how about a freelancer? They get paid in these large, exciting chunks per project, but somehow they end up completely broke just a few weeks later. And then you have the daily wage earner or an artisan making cash in hand every single afternoon. They all make money. Yet fast forward 5 years, and only some of them are actually building wealth, while the rest are staring at their bank balances, totally stressed out, asking themselves that deeply frustrating question, where the heck did all my money go?
Well, the reason for that frustration usually comes down to a core misunderstanding. We tend to think that earning a high income automatically makes us wealthy. But honestly, income is merely the raw material. It's kind of like someone dropping a giant pile of loose bricks in your front yard. Having a massive pile of bricks doesn't mean you have a house. True wealth is the factory. It's the system you build with those bricks after they arrive in your hands. Without a reliable, rock-solid system in place, even a massive income will just slip right through your fingers, leaving you with nothing to show for all your hard work.
Now, you might be thinking, sure, a wealth-building strategy works if I have a cushy corporate salary. We always tell ourselves, oh, I'll budget when I get a steady job. But actually, this framework is entirely adaptable. Whether you're an artisan earning cash every day, a freelancer waiting on a massive but irregular payout, a content creator riding the waves of fluctuating ad revenue, or a small business owner navigating really tight margins, this works. Why? Because it doesn't focus on how often or how much you get paid. It focuses entirely on what you do the exact moment that money enters your control.
A lot of us just inherit this survival mindset from our upbringing. We're taught to just get by, manage the struggle, and view money as a temporary visitor that's going to leave quickly anyway. To escape that generational cycle, we have to realize a really hard truth. Your bank account is a reflection of your habits, long before it's a reflection of your income. You could literally win the lottery tomorrow, but if your underlying habits are poor, poof, that money will vanish. Our financial reality is ultimately dictated by our behavioral patterns, not just the size of our paychecks.
So, to change those deeply ingrained habits, we need a massive psychological reboot. Most people operate on this completely flawed assumption. I will save whatever is left after I spend. But let's be real, we all know how that story ends, right? The lifestyle monster eats the whole pie, and there is rarely a single crumb left at the end of the month. We have to deliberately flip the script to, I will intentionally pay my future before my lifestyle consumes it. It is absolutely crucial to focus on proactive allocation the very moment that money lands in your possession.
Okay, so let's get into Section 1, the 5 Wealth Accounts System. We're going to break down the exact practical structure that breaks the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Everything starts right here with the operating account. Think of this as your financial landing pad. Before any wealth building even begins, your income lands right here to cover your non-negotiable survival needs. We're talking housing, groceries, transportation, taxes, and any current debt obligations. The source material makes it crystal clear. Financial discipline is not about self-punishment or neglecting your real-world responsibilities. You have to secure your foundation first, keep a roof over your head and food on the table.
Once those absolute necessities are mapped out, we hit account number 1, financial freedom. Now, the sole purpose of this account is to eventually buy your ultimate independence from having to work for a living. This money is completely walled off from ordinary savings. You absolutely do not touch this for a broken-down car, a spontaneous holiday, or a new pair of shoes. No way. This is your sacred capital, used strictly to acquire investments, assets, and ownership that will one day produce income for you while you're literally sleeping.
Next up, Account 2 is your long-term savings and opportunity fund. This is both your defensive shield and your offensive springboard. It's set aside for sudden emergencies, planned major expenses, or that unexpected strategic business opportunity you need cash to jump on right away. As our sources heavily emphasize, this account is especially critical for gig workers, freelancers, and business owners. When your income cycles are irregular, you need a heavier, much more robust cash buffer to protect you against those inevitable dry spells between clients.
All right, Account 3 is the Education and Skill Account. This is based on a really profound principle. You are your own most important economic asset. Knowledge becomes skill, skill becomes applied value, and value generates income. So whether it's a tailor buying new patterns to learn a modern design, a freelancer paying for industry-leading software, or a salesperson taking an advanced negotiation course, intentionally investing in your skills directly and powerfully multiplies your earning power over time.
Now, account 4 is for play. You might be a little surprised to see a play fund in a rigorous wealth-building explainer, but let me tell you, it is absolutely essential. If you never allow yourself to actually enjoy the journey, you're going to burn out, you'll build resentment, and eventually you'll just rebel against your own financial discipline. Building wealth is a marathon. It shouldn't feel like a prison sentence. We are human beings, not robots. We crave experiences, dinners out, and moments of celebration.
But, and this is a massive but, there's a critical difference between planned enjoyment and impulsive lifestyle inflation. You allocate money to the play account so you can take that weekend trip or have that incredible dinner entirely guilt-free because you know it's already budgeted for. Contrast that with being dragged around by your everyday impulses, just swiping a credit card and hoping you can figure out the math later. You absolutely must enjoy your money, but you cannot let your desire for enjoyment control you.
Bringing it home, we have account 5, which is completely dedicated to giving and contribution. This is all about intentional generosity. It creates a structured, deeply meaningful way for you to support your aging parents, uplift your community, or donate to your favorite charities, all without accidentally jeopardizing your own financial future. Giving is incredibly fulfilling, but it has to be done strategically.
This is honestly one of the most powerful takeaways from our source material, the vast gap between intentional generosity and outright financial people-pleasing. True giving should come from a place of solid structure, not from guilt or the fear of saying no. Trying to financially rescue everyone around you without a system is literally like jumping into quicksand to save someone. You both just sink. It can completely destroy your own financial foundation, which ultimately helps no one in the long run. You've got to put your own oxygen mask on first before assisting others.
So how do we actually slice up this pie? Well, we can conceptualize a baseline percentage split. The sources stress that this is definitely not some rigid universal law. These percentages are a highly adaptable framework. If you are currently in pure survival mode, your basic necessities are naturally going to take up most of your income. You might allocate just a tiny fraction, maybe even just 1% to the wealth accounts, simply to build the muscle memory of the system. Then as your income grows and you build momentum, your allocations toward financial freedom and investments should drastically increase.
Moving right along to Section 2, Mastering the Money Flow. Because understanding the math behind these 5 accounts is actually the easy part. The real enemy here is our own behavior. Let's look at a tactic to master it. To crush impulse spending, the source material introduces the 24-hour money rule. It's brilliant. Whenever a significant amount of money arrives in your hands, you do not spend a single cent immediately. First, you force a pause. You sleep on it. Second, you record it in your ledger. Third, you deliberately allocate it into your 5 wealth accounts and your necessities. And only fourth, do you actually allow yourself to spend it. Enforcing this 24-hour cooling-off period completely neutralizes the emotional rush of getting paid and replaces it with pure logic.
And you can easily track this whole ecosystem using a simple monthly dashboard. Think of it like a funnel. Your total income tells you exactly what came in at the very top. Your necessities and accounts show you precisely where it flowed out. But most importantly, tracking your investments and net worth proves what is actually taking root and growing over time. It gives you a clear, totally objective bird's-eye view of your financial reality. You never have to wonder where your hard-earned money went ever again.
Finally, Section 3, Your Generational Legacy. By implementing this dashboard and these accounts, we are shifting the narrative from just trying to make more money to building a fortress that outlasts us. This entire philosophy is deeply anchored in a fantastic book by Muhammad Sodiq called The First Millionaire in Your Family. As the book powerfully reminds us, the first millionaire in a family isn't just the person who happens to accumulate $1 million in currency through sheer luck or grinding exhaustion. No. The first millionaire is the pioneer who first learns to think entirely differently about money, actively breaking those inherited patterns of survival and replacing them with a totally intentional vision for legacy.
Just imagine a reality where every single unit of currency you earn gets assigned a deliberate, specific mission before it even hits your bank. Some money keeps you alive, some protects your future, buys your ultimate freedom, or makes you more valuable through education. Some lets you enjoy the journey, and some helps another human being. When you dictate the terms like this, money transforms from this phantom that mysteriously vanishes into an obedient, powerful tool that relentlessly works for you.
So, I want to leave you with this final, massive question to chew on. What if you was the first to master money? If you take this 5-account framework and diligently apply it for the next 5 years, what would your life actually look like? You wouldn't just be changing your own bank balance or buying better things. You would literally be rewriting the entire financial destiny of your bloodline, setting a whole new standard for every single generation that follows you. So my question to you is, what is the very first account you are going to open today?